Hello students, you all are invited to this class. In this class, we should discuss about some selected MCQs for strength of material, part 1. Today we should discuss 25 questions of strength of material, which is very important for the SSC JEE and RRB JEE and other mechanical competitive exams. Let's start. Question number 1 is strain is defined as the ratio of. We know that strain is defined as the ratio of change in dimension upon original dimension. Here dimension may be length or diameter or volume also. So change in volume to original volume, which is known as volumetric strain. Change in length to original length, which is known as linear strain. Change in area to the original cross-sectional area, which is known as lateral strain. So any one of the above is the correct answer. Next, Hooke's law holds good up to. Hooke's law gives us that within elastic limit, stress is directly proportional to strain, or stress equal to a constant of proportionality into strain, where capital E is the Young's modulus of elasticity. So Hooke's law states that within elastic limit, so correct option is limit of proportionality. Next, Young's modulus is defined as the ratio of Young's modulus with capital E equal to stress by strain. So linear stress upon linear strain or longitudinal stress and longitudinal strain. So option C is the correct answer. Next, the unit of Young's modulus, Young's modulus capital E equal to stress upon strain. Strain is a unitless quantity. It has no unit. So unit of Young's modulus is same as unit of stress, which is force upon area, that is Newton per meter square or Newton per mm square or kgf per cm square. So here option D is correct. Here kg per cm square means kilogram force per cm square. Next question, deformation per unit length is that in the direction of the force is known as deformation. Deformation means change in length upon unit length, which is equal to linear strain, which is denoted as epsilon. Linear strain is the correct answer for this question. Next, if equal and opposite forces applied to a body tend to elongate it, the stress is so produced is called. For the elongation, if we execute some same amount of pull in the both sides, then there will be a elongation in the bar. So this will be for elongate. What type of strain is induced? That is the linear strain or tensile strain. Tensile stress. Option B is the correct. When same amount of pull is applied, the object undergoes some deformation or changes in length. That is, if elongation is there, then that is a tensile stress induced. If compressive force will be induced, then it will be contraction. Next, the materials having same elastic properties in all directions are called isotropic materials. A thin mild steel wire is loaded by adding loads in equal increments till it breaks. The extensions noted with increasing loads will behave as under. When, let us assume this is a body, when we are going on increasing the load, initially it will increase uniformly and then it will increase rapidly. That means up to elastic limit it will increase linearly and or uniformly, then it will increase rapidly. So option D is the correct answer. It will be very clearly shown by the stress strain curve. Next, modulus of rigidity is defined as the ratio of modulus of rigidity, which is denoted by C or N or G, is defined as the ratio of shear stress to shear strain. Shear stress is denoted as tau by phi. Option D is the correct. Next, if the radius of wire is stretched by a load, that means it will increase in length by a load is doubled, that means radius. If the radius of wire is doubled, then its Young's modulus will be Young's modulus is a parameter which is not dependent on the load or diameter of that object. It is Young's modulus is purely on the type of material. That means for steel, Young's modulus value is 200 GPa, means if that is a wire, this is the Young's modulus, and if that is a plate or whatever may be object, size of the object, Young's modulus of that material will be same. Young's modulus of elasticity for the material, that means it is not unaffected, that is remain not affected. Option E is the correct answer. Next, the ultimate tensile stress of mild steel compared to ultimal compressive stress. Normally, in case of mild steel, tensile stress is more than the compressive stress. So, option B is the correct answer. Next, tensile strength of a material is obtained. Tensile strength is obtained by dividing the maximum load during the test. Tensile strength is defined as it is the ratio of maximum load by original cross-sectional area. So, option B is the correct answer. Next, the impact strength of a material is an index of toughness. Impact strength, that means when an impact load is acting on a body, so it shows that what is its toughness. So impact strength is an index of toughness. So option A is the correct answer. Next, the Young's modulus of a wire is defined as stress which will increase the length of wire compared to its original length. Let's say original length is L and final length, let us assume L plus delta L, but its Young's modulus will be same because Young's modulus depends on the type of the material. For same material, the Young's modulus will be same. So option B is the correct answer. Next, percentage reduction of area in performing tensile stress on cast iron may be of order of 50%, 25%, 0%, 15%, 60%. So answer is option C, which is 0%, because in case of cast iron during tensile stress percentage reduction of area is very negligible, because cast iron is a brittle material. In case of brittle material, there is no elongation occurs. In case of ductile material, percentage reduction of area may occurs. Next, the intensity of stress which causes unit strain is called. We know that modulus of elasticity equal to stress upon strain. So, Young's modulus is also called unit of stress which causes unit strain. So, option D is the correct answer. Next, two stress strain curve for materials is plotted between true stress and true strain is used for the material is plotted between true stress and true strain. True stress equal to load by instantaneous or current cross sectional area, and true strain is the natural log of quotient of original area over instantaneous area. So, true stress equal to load divided by original cross sectional area, but true strain equal to natural log of, that means ln of original area upon instantaneous area. So, option B is the correct answer. Next, during a tensile stress of specimen of 1 cm square cross section, maximum load observed was 8 ton. So, P equal to 8 ton. And cross section at neck was 0.5 cm square. Original cross sectional area equal to 1 cm square, and after by acting of maximum load at the neck, that was 0.5 cm square. Therefore, ultimate tensile stress equal to ultimate tensile stress defined as it is the load for original cross sectional area P by A0. Therefore, it will be 8 divided by 1 equal to 8 ton per cm square. So, correct option is B. Next, for steel, ultimate strength in shear as compared to the tension is nearly half. Ultimate strength in shear compared to the tension is nearly equal to 1/2. That is the in tension ultimate strength is double as shear. Which of the following has no unit? Kinematic viscosity, it is denoted by nu. It has a unit because it dynamic viscosity by rho. It has a unit kg per cm square. Surface tension Newton per meter. Bulk modulus, it is direct stress by volumetric strain. It is same as unit as stress, but strain has no unit. It may be defined as delta L by L or delta D by D or delta V by B. Same unit, so it has strain has no unit. So, correct option is the option D. Which is the false statement about stress strain method? True stress strain. In case of true stress strain, it does not exist, it is the false statement. So this is the correct, because true stress and true strain exist. True stress is the load divided by instantaneous cross sectional area of that object, and true strain equal to natural log of original cross sectional area upon instantaneous cross sectional area. So option A is the correct. Next question number 22. In a tensile stress of mild steel specimen, the breaking stress as compared to ultimate tensile stress. Ultimate tensile stress is the maximum stress and breaking stress is somewhat less than the ultimate tensile stress. So breaking stress is less as compared to the ultimate tensile stress. So here answer is the option B. Next, if a part is constrained to move and heated, suppose this is a part and it is constrained to move, and then this is heated, then there will be somewhat elongation. To prevent the elongation, some stress is induced. To prevent elongation, compressive stress is induced. If this prevention constraint portion is not there, then there will be no stress will be induced. Next, which of the following material is more elastic? In case more elastic means by removal of the load, if the object or body regain its original shape and size, then that is known as elasticity. In case of rubber, plastic, brass, steel, glass, steel is the more elastic in nature. For if 500 Newton is applied to all the objects, then there will be somewhat elongation is there, if the force is tensile force. If we increase the load, then after some time rubber or plastic may be break up and or they cannot regain its original shape and size by removal of that load. But steel has a somewhat more tendency to regain its original shape and size. So steel is the more elastic in nature. Next, the value of modulus of elasticity for mild steel is of in the order. We know that in problems we had seen that modulus of elasticity, which is capital E, equal to 200 GPa in case of SI unit for the mild steel. But in here that unit is given as kg per cm square. So 1 Pascal equal to 1 Newton per meter square. So 200 G means giga, which is equal to 200 into 10 to the power 9 Newton per meter square. In here in cm square is given, so by converting meter square as cm square, meter square 1 meter square equal to 10 to the power 4 cm square. So by dividing 10 to the power 4 cm square, this will come 10 to the 5. So we know that Newton, so in here 200 into 10 to the 5 Newton per cm square. 1 Newton equal to 1 kgf equal to 9.81 Newton. So by dividing 9.81 we can get kg per cm square. So by dividing 200 into 10 to the 5 by 9.81 we get 10 kg per cm square, almost 10. So let us 200 into 10 to the 4 equal to 2 into 10 to the 6 So by dividing 9.81 means approximately it will come 2.1 10 to the 6 kg per cm square. Thanks for watching. I hope you had already understood this one, and on the next class we should discuss some more number of questions of strength of material. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a good day.